I've been thinking a lot about why we are all here. Like, why are we all on Earth at this current time? Is there a reason? Or is it just a coincidence and a series of random events? Now, the mainstream science explanation of why we are all here is that it's random and that the right molecules and the right elements and the right initial conditions and enough random events happened that just so happened to produce you, and you just happen to show up at this time, and there's no reason. It's just luck of the draw. But I feel like there is a reason and there's a purpose as to why we are here. And this came up for me a few weeks ago during a 90-day challenge call. I started talking about time and how time is a limited resource, and how most of us, even though we know this, we don't act as if time is a limited resource. And not only is time a limited resource, but we actually have a very small window of opportunity to live in this body, in this space, and in this time. Most of us, if we're lucky, get 100 years. And 100 years is nothing. And how many of those are good years, right? If you don't take care of your health, you could be unhealthy for the last 5 to 10 years or even 20 years. And so the time is now to act on your goals, to pursue your dreams, to do anything that you want to do. We have to do it now, right? Because time is flying by, and that's one thing I think we can all agree on. The older you get, time goes by faster and faster. I was talking to someone the other day about something that happened in 2006, and then realizing that was 20 years ago. That's insane, right? So anyway, based on that call, the next week during our 90-day challenge call, a few people expressed how that talk about time hit them really hard, and how they kind of got depressed realizing that they had wasted many years. They felt like time was slipping away and that they only had a few more good years left. On one hand, it's actually a good thing that they had this realization, because while that may be true, while their time is limited, I mean, every single one of us, we have limited amount of time here, but that awareness is key, so you can start to do something about it, so you can start to take advantage of what time you have left. And on the other hand, it was making me think of like, why are we here? Because when you think about life and how it plays out, it seems that life is hard, right? It feels like the deck is stacked against us, that we're only here for 80 to 100 years if we're lucky, and there are a lot of aspects of the system in which we were all born into that feel like they are against us, and it seems that we do everything in our power just to keep our head above water, and then you come to have this realization that your life is just flying by, and that at someday it's going to be over, and then you have to face the fact of, what did I do with my time and opportunity on Earth? Was I successful? Did I make Earth and the people around me better? Or was I just background noise, just an NPC, a side character in other people's reality? Well, thinking about all this, one of the conclusions that came to me is that life, if we look at it, it seems to be nothing but a series of challenges. Now, I'm not saying this from a limiting belief standpoint, because I also think that life is beautiful and magical, and in many ways it's our divine right to live in abundance. But it's hard to get there. And even if you get there, it seems like the challenges will never stop. That every day you are faced with choices and opportunities to make yourself better or to make yourself worse, to pursue your goals, to pursue your dreams, and to pursue your passions, or being a pawn for somebody else. So thinking about how all this works, first you have to look towards nature and the reality that we all live in. And our reality, our world, our universe seems to be guided and influenced by cycles. right? The daily cycle of night and day, the lunar cycle, the yearly seasonal cycle. There's the cycle of the four turnings. There's the great cosmological cycle that takes place over 26,000 years. There's the Yuga cycle. There's the death and rebirth of stars, right? So if you look, everything is a cycle. And what I believe is that our soul goes through a similar cycle, that there is a source of all creation. And our individual souls break off from that source. And that spirit or soul then goes through a long cycle of growth and development, just like a human cycle, just like a human is born as a baby and goes from a baby to a child to a teenager to an adult to an elder and then death. Well, I believe that our soul merges from the source of all creation. It then goes through its own cycle of growth and development and eventually returns back to the source. Now, how long that cycle takes, I have no idea. But what I feel and what I believe is that Earth is a significant part of that cycle. It is a significant part of the growth and development of your soul or of your spirit. So that means that there's nothing random about you being here right now. That you are here to learn some lessons and to develop yourself spiritually. But like I said, this Earth training center or Earth school is extremely hard. And it seems to me that you may have to stay here for as long as it possibly takes to learn whatever lesson you need to learn. And just being here does not guarantee your success. You have to put in work. You have to face your fears. You have to step in to the unknown. And this is the only way for you to develop yourself spiritually. And we know this is true because of the old Hermetic principle, as above, so below. And you think about, how would you develop yourself physically? How would you make yourself physically stronger? Well, the answer is simple, right? You have to work out, and you have to exercise, and you have to move and push your body against resistance. And you essentially have to break your body and your muscles down temporarily, and then with the proper rest and nutrition and recovery, your body then adapts and rebuilds and comes back stronger and more capable. Well, that means the same thing is true for your spiritual body. That's why we are constantly being challenged and pushed. And it's why I love the old saying that it never gets easier, you just get stronger and you just get better. Because those of you that know, those of you that have had some success in life, every time you level up, you quickly get hit with another challenge. And so where we go from here, once you're successful at the Earth Training Ground, the next step, I don't know, that'll be the greatest mystery ever. But I bring this up because it's never too late to learn the lessons. And while many of us have wasted time, while many of us are not as productive as we could have been, and while many of us have made big mistakes in the past, it's never too late to learn those lessons. It's never too late to strengthen your spirit. It's never too late to become a better version of yourself. All those lessons we've learned, all those mistakes we've made are all part of the plan. They are part of the process. But until you recognize them and until you integrate those lessons and those mistakes, and until you adapt and become better because of them, you will continue on this same cycle. Which makes me think about one of my favorite quotes. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now, which means no matter where you are on the age spectrum, whether you have 50 years left or 10 years left or even 5 years left, plant that tree now. Do the work now. Be present now, right? All we have is the present moment. And I think that's a big lesson that we all need to learn. We all know this, but we don't act as if it's true. We can't change the past. We can't change the mistakes we made, but we can step up to the plate today and we can put in the work now. So my challenge to all of you is to not waste any more time, is to take whatever time you have left and put all your energy into developing yourself into the best possible version that you can, and do everything you can to build a life that you're proud of. Yeah, it's going to be hard. This should not come as a surprise. But what else are you going to do? Because I believe the only way you can truly fail is to give up, is to throw in the towel. But if you keep fighting, if you keep working, the sky's the limit. Let me know how I can help. See you on the other side.